40,000 years ago, survival wasn't a choice. It was the only law. Before farming, before cities, before the comfort of supermarkets, humans lived each day with one question: what can we eat to see tomorrow? In the heart of the African savanna, a small band of early humans moved slowly under the blazing sun. They carry no maps, no weapons beyond sharpened sticks and chipped stones. And yet, their minds are sharper than the claws of the predators around them. The air smells of dust. The grass is dry and brittle. The hunger moon has arrived, the season when the rains vanish and even the strongest hunters can fail. Scavengers of the savanna. A shadow sweeps across the ground, vultures circling high above. The hunters follow, knowing the birds often lead to food or danger. They find it. A zebra collapsed in the dust, half eaten by lions. The lions are gone, but danger still lingers. Early humans were scavengers before they were hunters. They didn't just kill, they took. With sharp stone flakes, they sliced the remaining meat from the carcass. The smell is strong, the flesh tough. Then they cracked the bones with heavy stones to reach the warm, fatty marrow inside, pure survival fuel. Every scrap counts. Meat, marrow, skin, fat, even sinew for binding tools. Archaeologists today believe this scavenging skill was one of the first major advantages humans had. While other predators relied on fresh kills, humans could use tools to harvest food for what was left behind. The gatherers' secret knowledge. While the hunters risk danger, the gatherers are equally busy. They move through the scrub, searching for plants, nuts, and fruit. They know which berries can be eaten raw, which roots need roasting to remove their poison, and which leaves can heal wounds. A fallen tree reveals a hive, dripping with wild honey. The gatherers endure dozens of bee stings to collect it. Honey is more than a sweet treat. It's energy, and it lasts for weeks. Anthropologists call this a broad-spectrum diet: plants, fruit, insects, and meat combined. It gave early humans a survival edge over species that relied on only one type of food. A night of rain and hunger. That evening, the wind changes. Thunder growls in the distance. Rain sweeps across the savanna, soaking the camp's small fire. In the flickering light, a boy named Kale sits quietly. He's hungry. His mother hands him a clay pot filled with something unexpected: boiled grasshoppers. He hesitates. She smiles. The grasshoppers ate the grass. Now you eat them. We take life from whatever life gives. For early humans, insects were not desperation food. They were reliable protein. Ants, termites, crickets, and grasshoppers could keep a person alive when larger prey disappeared. Innovation born of hunger. When meat was scarce and plants withered, humans turned to shellfish along riverbanks. They dug for edible roots in dry riverbeds. They learned to roast toxic tubers until they were safe to eat. Every hardship forced a lesson. Every lesson was passed on. Stories told around the fire, warnings given to the young, and rituals formed to remember which foods could be trusted. This adaptability, the ability to eat almost anything, may be the single reason Homo sapiens outlasted other human species. Neanderthals were powerful hunters, but when their main prey disappeared, they struggled to adapt. Humans simply found something else to eat. The final truth. For early humans, food wasn't about taste. It wasn't about choice. It was about the fight against extinction. From marrow bones to wild honey, from bitter roots to roasted crickets. They ate. They learned. They lived. And because they did, we are here. The world is changing. The ice retreats, forests spread, and the great herds shift their ancient paths. For early humans, this is both a gift and a warning. The familiar hunting grounds are no longer the same. Some animals vanish forever. Others move to lands too far to follow. In this fragile moment, humans are forced to think differently about food. Not just where to find it, but how to make it last. The last hunt of the season. The sun is low when a group of hunters returns to camp, dragging the heavy carcass of a red deer. It will feed the tribe for days, but after that, the land will be empty. The elders know the truth. The era of endless game is fading. The meat is cooked, smoked and dried, stored in skin bags to last longer. But even the best preserved food cannot last a whole season. The people begin to wonder, what if food didn't have to be hunted at all? The accidental garden. One spring, a group camps by a river for many weeks. They eat wild grasses, pounding the seeds into flour, mixing it with water, and cooking it on flat stones. Some of the seeds fall into the damp soil. Weeks later, green shoots appear. At first, no one thinks much of it. But by the time the camp moves on, the patch is thick with plants. The memory lingers. The next year, when the tribe returns, they find the same spot bursting with grain. It is no longer just a lucky patch of grass. It is a promise. Fishing without moving. Hunting animals demands travel, but fish can be caught in the same place day after day. Along the river, humans learn to build traps from woven reeds and sharpened stakes. They catch fish, dry them in the sun, and store them for the weeks ahead. The river becomes more than a hunting ground. It becomes a base. And slowly, the people start staying longer in one place than ever before. The first food experiments. Seeds from wild plants are collected and carried back to camp, sometimes to eat, sometimes to try planting. Not all grow. Some are eaten by birds. Some rot in the soil. But every success teaches something. How deep to plant, when to water, when to wait. These lessons are not written down. They're told by the fire, repeated until the children know them by heart. The survival diet is becoming more than instinct. It is becoming science, herding the future. In some regions, people begin to follow herds not just to hunt them, but to guide them. Goats and sheep, once wild, begin to grow used to human presence. Over time, the animals no longer run. They are fed, sheltered, and protected until the day they are needed for meat, milk, or hides. For the first time in human history, food walks alongside its keepers. The choice that changed everything. These changes are slow, spread across generations, but the effect is enormous. Humans begin to rely less on the chase and more on the soil, less on the spear and more on the seed. The diet is no longer just what nature gives, it is what humans make from nature. In this shift lies the first spark of civilization. Villages will grow from camps. Seasons will be measured by planting and harvest. And one day, the hunt will become the exception, not the rule. But the lessons of the old ways are never forgotten. Because in a world where the earth can fail, the instinct to survive must never die. And though the age of hunger is far behind us, every meal we eat carries the memory of those who lived and ate so we could be here today. If you love documentaries about what life was for decades before we emerged, then don't hesitate to like the video, comment, and subscribe for more.